Good evening and welcome to The Dating Game, brought to you by Cooking with Michael. That's right, Cooking with Michael, bringing you The Dating Game, where three bachelors will vie for the attention, love, and selection of one bachelorette who is looking for the best date night dinner. Watch and see as that bachelorette picks the best bachelor. May the best bachelor win. All right, let's introduce tonight's bachelorette. She was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Clinton, Maryland. In her spare time, her hobbies include... Oh, wait a minute. She's got two small kids. There is no spare time. Let's welcome Candace. All right, Candace, tell us what you're looking for in a bachelor.
Well, Michael, I'm looking for a man who has great natural facial hair and can cook, because I tend to burn everything.
All right, thank you, Candace. Let's play the game.
Bachelor number 1, tell us about yourself.
I'm Alex, and I'm 5 years old, and I like Minecraft, and I like kittens.
Bachelor number 2, tell us about yourself.
I'm Josh, and I'm 8, and also I like Minecraft.
Bachelor number 3, tell us about yourself.
I'm Michael. I'm older than both of them, and unlike previous dating game contestants, I have never been in prison, despite my orange shirt.
All right, let's start the game.
Question number 1, what's your favorite drink?
Orange juice.
I like Pinot Grigio.
Question number 2, do you pee on the toilet seat?
Doesn't everyone?
Ew, and so I don't.
You know, I'm old enough to control my own penis.
Question number 3, for a great date night, what would you make for dinner?
I don't like food. Pizza.
For a great date night dinner, I would make a meatloaf with a side of rice and a little bit of Grigio.
All right, Candace, who do you choose? Bachelor 1, 2, or 3?
I pick bachelor number 3.
All right, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Michael. I really hope you enjoyed our dating game spoof. We had a lot of fun doing it. Of course, my boys so excited to be a part of that, and of course, my executive producer, director, and wife was, of course, the Bachelorette. So if you didn't know who was going to get picked, obviously it's going to be the guy that, first of all, is older than the age of 8, and also her husband. So I kind of had a quick in there, but a lot of fun to make. Hope you enjoy. And of course, if you've ever watched a dating game, you realize that all the hosts in the dating game had big teeth, balding, and a lot of polyester. Well, your host for Cooking with Michael has big teeth, is balding. I don't wear polyester, so actually, I'm not necessarily a 70s game show host. But I'm close, so it all kind of worked out perfectly. So if you watched our show in the past, you've seen we've made meatloaf in the past. However, we have taken that video down. It was our very, very first video, and we've come so far in such a short amount of time with everything. So we decided to redo it, have a little bit of fun with it, and show you how easy it is to make and a little bit clearer for you too. So I hope you enjoy it. Of course, first things first, we have to just a couple shout outs. First of all, I want to thank all of you who watched our last episode. A lot of fun. Hope you tried the lobster rice. It's one of my favorite dishes, and a lot of fun to make, and as you saw real quick. As always, thank you to Andrew at Chapel Beer and Wine for my Pinot Grigio. As you know, Pinot Grigio. And tonight, it is a Pinot Grigio tonight. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of my Pinot Grigio, and I'm going to take a sip or two. And of course, the bachelor number 3 loves Pinot Grigio too, as I'm sure you saw. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and make the dinner. Real simple, real easy, quick meatloaf dinner. We'll show you how to do the meatloaf, and then we'll put it all together. Taste it and love it. Drink Pinot Grigio a lot during it, and then go from there. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll be right back, show you how it begins all. All right, in the ingredients we're going to be using tonight, you see the ground beef, you see eggs, tomato sauce, milk, rice, different seasonings, the breadcrumbs, and of course, the Pinot Grigio. Can't have dinner without it. All right, and we're back. So what we're going to do, we've got our bowl here, and we're going to basically start with a pound of meat. And as always, I'm just going to take the pound of meat. As always, I went to my butcher and got myself a fresh pound of ground beef. It's actually a pound of ground prime, but you can really use any kind of meat. If you go to some of the bigger box stores, the bigger chain stores. Hi. If you go to some of the bigger chain stores, what happens is they will use sometimes some of the leftover meats, things like that, like pork and turkey and whatever, put all together and call it a meatloaf mix. I, of course, go to my butcher. I may pay a few cents extra, but it's definitely worth it because it's just straight beef. So let me show that again. So anyway, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I just make sure it's all broken up, okay? And then I start the mix. Before I do that, of course, I've preheated my oven to 375. And in my house, as we talked about before, we make sure there's nothing in there. And in this case, there was. So we're going to move that out of the way. Always got to check in my house because we store things everywhere. So anyway, we got the meat in there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick drink of Pinot Grigio. We're going to take 2 eggs. Okay? Just 2 regular old eggs. And we're going to crack one, put it in there. And we're going to crack a second one, put it in there. Okay? Okay, got the 2 eggs in there. Then we're going to take our breadcrumbs. You just want regular old plain breadcrumbs. All right. Then we're going to take our breadcrumbs. You want just regular old plain breadcrumbs. I'm using Panko breadcrumbs. Pour it in there. And of course, if you're wondering where I got these from, it's a little known store. It's the same place that I got my seasonings from and everything. It's just a little known store called Aldi. Aldi! I know, I've never talked about it, but hey, why not talk about it now, right? Okay. Anyway, so I got that at Aldi. Of course, as always, they have everything at Aldi that well, not everything, but they have a lot of things at Aldi that I want. So I put that in there. Then I just take a little bit of milk. And as we always talk about, I don't measure. Just put some in there. Because what's going to happen is the breadcrumbs are going to make it, put a little more milk in there. The breadcrumbs are going to make it somewhat dry, but you want to make it so it all sticks together. Then we're going to take seasonings. Just a simple Italian seasoning, okay, that I got at my brand new store that I've never been to before, except every other time I've gone shopping. Aldi! So a couple shakes in there, okay, of that. Then I'm going to take a little bit of basil. And you can see this one is an organic basil. Again, the reason why, if you watched my show last week, the reason why I sometimes have organic seasoning is primarily because it's all they had. I'm not a big fan of organic stuff. I know a lot of my viewers are, and hey, nothing wrong with it. It's just not me. So anyway, I'm going to take my basil, and I'm just going to shake in there. Okay. The Italian seasoning will have basil in it, but I like a little bit more basil. What it won't have in there is onion powder. Now, you can chop onion up, and you can put the onion directly into there. I don't do that. If you have watched my videos before, again, thank you. Really appreciate it. I don't like onion. But onion powder does give a nice taste to the meatloaf. And as we always talk about, we're just going to shake a little bit in there. As we always talk about, it's a symphony, not a solo. So everything that we're doing is complementing everything else. Okay? So real easy. And then we're just going to get our hands in there. And we're going to get a little dirty. The good thing is, and yes, I'm saying I'm going to get dirty while playing with my meat. Okay, why not? All right. Anyway, that's why I put some breadcrumbs in there, and then I go back and I reach, and I'm going to add some more. Okay. So I take this, and then I'm going to do one more dash of my onion powder. Because actually that gives it the biggest kick in my mind. Okay? That is actually your meatloaf. Okay, waiting for that to preheat. I'm going to reach over. I'm just going to grab my glass corningware dish. Just a regular one, nothing real fancy. Take that out. I'm going to put it down there. I'm going to take the meat out of the bowl here and put it right in there. And that's pretty much it. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to reach in and grab the meatloaf. Okay? And we're just going to stick it in there. Now, in the glass dish. Put this in the sink for now. Turn that around. While it's waiting, and this is one thing I actually forgot to show on the ingredients list that you saw earlier, is my Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to take Worcestershire sauce and I'm going to just cover the top with Worcestershire sauce. Okay? I don't want to say you can't put too much, but you almost can't put too much. You want to make sure the top is covered with it. And then I'm going to take tomato sauce that we got at Aldi. All right. And then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put just a little bit over top. Okay? Just kind of like a line, just like that. All right. So after you're done putting the sauce on, take a little bit more of the basil. Just put a little top on there. Just a little bit. Kind of a little topping kind of thing. Okay? Our stove is preheated, so we're real easy. We're going to take this and we're going to put it right into the oven. This will take about an hour to cook. Okay? Hi there. So, we set our timer for an hour, and we let it go. When the hour comes along, you're going to cut down the center of it and make sure that it's not pink anywhere. Meatloaf is not like steak or anything like that. You don't want it like a medium rare or a partially uncooked center or anything like that. It's ground beef. So for health reasons, you want to make sure that it is fully cooked all the way through, well done. Kind of like your hamburgers. I know some like hamburgers medium well or medium, things like that. Trust me, it really is, for the benefit of everybody. Even though this is fresh ground beef, you still just want to make sure it's ground beef, it's cooked all the way through. But during this time, we're going to go ahead and make our rice side. Real simple. If you've watched our videos before, again, thank you. Real simple. 2 cups of water per 1 cup of dried rice. When it's cooked, you get 2 cups of rice. So I'm literally going to make 2 cups of dried rice or 4 cups of cooked rice for our side. And that's all we're going to have. So it's real quick, real easy. I'm going to make that while this is cooking. And then when we come back, again, we'll put it all together, show you what it's like, taste it, drink some more Pinot Grigio, and love it and go from there. So we'll be back in just a moment. All right, so it's been just under an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the meatloaf out. We're going to cut it, take a look, see what it's like. As you saw, it was a little bit smaller meat, so it probably is about done. But again, if it's not, 5 to 7 minutes increments each time after you cut it, and check it. So, and of course, I already made the rice while this was cooking as well, as I said. So let me go ahead and take out the meatloaf using my fantastic pot holder from Aztec Creations. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this puppy open and see what she looks like. Maybe I shouldn't say puppy because I'm not making Chinese food. Oh, that's going to come back and haunt me. All right, so let's cut this open. And it is still, it's hard to tell, but you can still, it is not fully cooked in the middle. So I'm going to put it back in. We're going to do it, again, 5 to 7 minute increments. And that's Phoebe in the background. So put this back. All right, so the timer just went off. We're going to go ahead and pull it out, and we're going to take a look at it. It's been about 7-8 minutes since we put it back in. And let's take a look and see what it looks like. Hey, there's the rice. All right, so let's pull this thing back out. Ah, there we go. And that's the color we're looking for. If you can see, it's cooked all the way through. Like I said, it's kind of like a hamburger. You want to do a well done. You don't want to have a medium rare or anything like that in the hamburger. You don't want to have it in the meatloaf either. So, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my plate. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take off a piece here. You can see what it looks like. You can see it is, there we go. You can see it's nicely fully cooked. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to grab some of the rice from here. I also took some tomato sauce. You know, we put tomato sauce on top of the meatloaf. But I also like taking tomato sauce. There it is. It's kind of hard to hold. But anyway, tomato sauce, heating up in the microwave, and then just drizzling it over top of the meat again, and drizzling it over top of the rice. So, anyway, that's what it looks like. Okay. Hi. How you doing? All right. So I'm going to grab my Pinot Grigio because, of course, before you taste anything, you should always have your Pinot Grigio. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take a bite of this. Okay. Ooh, very good. A little bit of the rice, because rice is very hard to screw up. But, all right, another bite of the meatloaf. Because you know I can't take this one bite. So, that's it. Real quick. It takes about an hour. In this case, it took about an hour, 7 minutes to cook the meatloaf. It's really going to depend on the size of the meatloaf, obviously, and the thickness of it. But, yeah, so that's it. A couple of things real quick. I want to, again, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank all of our new subscribers. And, of course, we did get I have to mention, we got a great new subscriber. Our wine guy, Andrew, finally did subscribe. So Chapel Beer and Wine is now a subscriber to Cooking with Michael. I had to celebrate that with Pinot Grigio. But again, so anyway, all our new subscribers, thank you. Those who have been watching, thank you. Hope you're enjoying our format as we continue to tweak and make it better. Hope you love every episode. Hope you try the food. Hope you love it. And as always, keep watching. Share, comment, subscribe if you haven't. If you know people who would love the video, share with them so they can subscribe. The more subscribers, the more likes, the more comments. As always, like I say, shows up on feeds of everyone, and we get more views too. So, and special thanks to some people that I work with who have been watching. You know who you are. It means so much to me that people I spend every day with at work are actually watching something I do outside of work. So thank you guys so much, and for everything you've done too. So here we are, end of our video for tonight. But we'll see you next week. As always, every Saturday night, 8 p.m. On our next episode, Cooking with Michael. And again, thanks so much. Have a great, great evening. Enjoy the food. Good night, everyone.